to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Hello, I am Owen Thorne, and I welcome you to this peaceful space. Take a deep breath, letting the air flow slowly into your lungs as you settle in. Exhale gently and feel the weight of the day drift away. In this moment, you are safe, cradled by a hush of tranquility. As you close your eyes or soften your gaze, allow the gentle sounds around you to fade into the background. Become aware of the subtle rhythm of your breathing, a steady pattern that guides you toward calm. Perhaps you can feel the softness of the pillow beneath your head and the warmth of a blanket tucked around your shoulders. In this peaceful twilight, imagine a tranquil shore where waves lap softly against the sand. The sun has just dipped below the horizon, leaving the sky painted in delicate hues of pale gold and soft lavender. Let the soothing image of that coastline bring comfort, reminding you that this time is yours to rest and replenish. With every breath, allow your mind to grow quieter, gentler, as the vast ocean of your imagination opens. Now, when you are ready, allow my voice to guide you into a gentle tale of mystic waters and ancient secrets. Let your imagination flow freely, carried along by the slow, steady current. Breathe in calm, breathe out tension. Far beyond the rolling coasts of mortal lands, the boundless ocean shimmered under moonlight. Night's silver glow touched every cresting wave, illuminating the quiet power that slumbered beneath the surface. At the calm center of this vast expanse, Poseidon, Lord of the Seas, rested upon a coral throne. His eyes, the color of ageless tides, held a tranquil depth. Wrapped in robes woven from living seaweed and luminescent pearls, he exuded a presence both gentle and immeasurably grand. Though legends spoke of his mighty storms, tonight he was at peace, listening to the rhythmic rise and fall of the ocean's breath. From this quiet vantage, he surveyed his realm, watching as schools of fish glided in graceful arcs and coral gardens swayed in underwater currents. The hush of the deep sea cradled him like a gentle lullaby, carrying the promise of timeless stories yet to unfold. In that moment, Poseidon merely breathed, attuned to every subtle ripple in the waters around him. He felt their cool embrace, letting thoughts drift like drifting currents, serene, patient, awaiting the gentle unraveling of destiny's thread. Far above, the wind whispered across the surface, a distant echo of mortal concerns that scarcely disturbed his quiet watch. The ocean dreamt. Across the tranquil waters, distant myths swirled like gentle eddies. Whispers told of the day Poseidon first claimed his realm, forging palaces of coral and kelp and letting tides shape entire coastlines. Yet, in these quiet hours, no mortal recalled that epic moment. All was subdued, restful, a lull that cradled even the greatest of sea gods. Silvery fish glimmered in dark corners, while sea turtles glided gracefully past towering spires of jade-coloured seaweed. Every being seemed lulled by the soft pulse of the ocean's heart, beating in time to Poseidon's steady breath. Gazing from his throne, Poseidon observed how the smallest creatures harmonized with the largest whales, forming a tapestry of life so intricate it seemed timeless. Once, he would have roamed the seas in robust displays of thunderous power, but now he sat content, surrounded by calm. Each wave, each swirl of water, carried stories older than memory, drifting into the open seas of tomorrow. In that stillness, he savoured the hush that preceded the storms, both literal and metaphorical, knowing that in the cycles of nature, peace would inevitably give way to majestic turmoil. For now, however, tranquility reigned, wrapping the underwater kingdom in serene shadows. High above, the moon drifted across a star-speckled sky, its reflection shimmering on the rippling surface. Beneath this gentle light, a pod of dolphins danced through the currents, their playful chatter drifting into the corridors of Poseidon's palace. The god watched with paternal fondness, recalling ages when he guided lost sailors by sending these helpful creatures to lead them to safer shores. Warm memories surfaced like pearls rising from the seafloor, moments of unexpected kinship between gods, creatures, and humankind. Even the sea's unpredictability, a force once harnessed for both wrath and mercy, seemed subdued by the hush of the evening tide. In a hidden grotto near the palace's outer walls, phosphorescent algae gleamed in soft patterns. The gentle glow illuminated an ancient mosaic etched into the stone, an homage to Poseidon's might, capturing moments of wild storms and triumphant conquest. But as the algae pulsed with each wave, that same mosaic took on a kinder aura. The once fierce images of thrashing waves and swirling clouds seemed to soften, blending with the comforting hush of the surrounding waters. It was as though the sea itself gently reminded its lord of the beauty in rest, in the quiet intervals between thunders, and in the calm before each new surge. Not far from the throne, a young sea nymph named Thera explored the palace halls in dreamy wonder. Delicate fins extended from her forearms, shimmering with flecks of turquoise and gold as she swam with languid grace. She knew well the stories of Poseidon's strength, the swirling tempests he could conjure with a single flick of his trident. Yet tonight, she sensed only peace emanating from the grand deity. Guided by flickering lanternfish that illuminated the corridors, Thera moved closer, curiosity piqued. She had heard rumors that on nights like these, Poseidon's heart opened to the whispered songs of the sea, revealing depths of compassion that rivaled his legendary fury. As Thera drew nearer, her eyes caught glimpses of the throne room's glistening pillars. These were formed from centuries of compressed shells, shaped by the ocean's subtle push and pull. Soft echoes of faraway whale song drifted in, each note weaving a lullaby that spiraled upward to the surface. It was as if the entire domain recognized this sacred silence, drawn into a state of half slumber. Even the distant sea serpents, typically elusive and solitary, glided with less urgency, lulled by the profound calm that held the kingdom under its gentle sway. Poseidon glanced toward Thera, sensing her presence before she revealed herself. He offered a slight nod of acknowledgement, inviting her to step forward. Her heart fluttered, as though touched by a ripple of his ancient energy. With respectful reverence, she drifted closer, feeling the water's hush grow even deeper around them. In the stillness, she could almost hear the echoes of the ocean's secrets swirling in the spaces between each slow beat of her pulse. Encouraged by the tranquility in his gaze, Thera mustered the courage to speak. Her voice was as soft as the rustle of seagrass. "My lord, the waters lie so still tonight. I've never known the ocean to be this calm. Is it the lull before a great storm?" The corners of Poseidon's lips curved into the faintest smile. "The sea has its seasons of rest as well as its moments of uproar," he replied, his tone as soothing as a receding tide. "Though I bear dominion over its waves, I too follow the rhythms that govern all things. This hush is a gift. It replenishes the spirit, preparing us for whatever next chapter unfolds beneath the moonlit sky." Reassured, Thera let her apprehension slip away, replaced by a sense of wonder. The water surrounding them felt alive with gentle possibilities, as though each ripple whispered of journeys not yet taken. From afar, the distant calls of nocturnal creatures resonated, a lone humpback's lullaby, a school of fish swirling in unison, a subtle current tugging at the palace walls. It was a symphony of soft sounds, woven together by the ocean's cradle of night. Poseidon's trident, resting against the coral dais, glinted whenever moonlight filtered through the palace windows. The sight of that legendary weapon, so often associated with cataclysmic power, now blended harmoniously with the serene scene. It served as a reminder that within great might lies the capacity for gentleness. A faint current ruffled Poseidon's seaweed mantle, setting the strands softly adrift. He closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the water's embrace and recalling eons of change. Continents forming, seas shifting, civilizations rising and falling along his shores. All those epochs converged into this peaceful instant, where time stretched like a long tide, unhurried and unbroken, a tranquil testament to the ocean's endless capacity for renewal. Outside the palace walls, the realm of the ocean spread in every direction, teeming with hidden sanctuaries. One such place was the Twilight Reef, a haven of bioluminescent corals that sparkled with pastel hues of pink, blue, and soft green. In the gentle gloom, they flickered like submerged starlight. Schools of small fish drifted through, forming ephemeral shapes that shimmered and vanished in a blink. Sometimes, an old sea turtle would glide above the corals, carrying memories etched into its shell from centuries of wandering. Tonight, even those ancient explorers seemed lulled by the hush that emanated from Poseidon's presence. Here, in the Twilight Reef, the water temperature was mild and comforting, a gentle swirl of warm and cool currents. Among the corals lay remnants of long-forgotten artifacts, broken amphorae from sunken ships, coins bearing faces of kings long gone, and shells arranged by chance into quiet tributes. Over the ages, stories of sorrow and triumph had settled into the sand, each fragment of pottery or bit of metal softened by the waves. In this place of natural serenity, everything found its rest eventually, drifting into a calm acceptance that mirrored Poseidon's own contemplative repose. Further still, in waters rarely ventured by mortal eyes, lay the hidden grotto of echoes. Here, ocean currents wound through narrow passages, creating a soft chorus of watery tones that reverberated through the stone. Legend said that Poseidon once meditated in this grotto when the weight of storms burdened him. The grotto's acoustics soothed his troubled mind, offering gentle reflections of his own heartbeat. Even now, faint rhythmic pulses reached across the ocean floor to the palace, as if to remind the Sea King that solace was never too distant. In the deepest chamber of this grotto, delicate strands of glowing sea flora hung like curtains, swaying with each subtle shift in current. Occasionally, a stray sea harp, a species known for their airy songs, would wander into this hidden domain, filling the space with haunting melodies that spiraled upward like slow bubbles. These lullabies echoed through time, never truly fading, absorbed instead into the living tapestry of the sea. Tonight, those echoes resounded softly across the vast underwater empire, touching Poseidon and Thera like a memory of warmth on a cold evening. It was as though the ocean itself sang a gentle refrain, urging all who listened to yield to repose. As moments passed, Thera noticed a stirring in the currents around the throne. It was subtle, an almost imperceptible shift in the water's temperature and flow. Poseidon, his senses in tune with the sea's every nuance, lifted his gaze toward some distant horizon only he could sense. In the faintest reflection of his eyes, one might see a flicker of power, an acknowledgement that even in calm, the seeds of change were always present. Yet he did not rise from his throne. He merely placed a hand on the trident and closed his eyes, listening more deeply, as though coaxing the sea to reveal its intentions. Slowly, the stirring receded, leaving a gentle swirl of bubbles that rose lazily toward the surface. If a tempest was brewing in the far reaches of the ocean, it had not yet found its way here. The hush remained unbroken, and the kingdom continued in its soft rapture. Thera could almost taste the hush, a cool, refreshing flavour that slipped across her lips and enveloped her senses. She breathed in the stillness, feeling it seep into her body like a delicate whisper of reassurance. If there was indeed a storm to come, it was not this night. Watching over all of this was the endless sky. Though invisible from the depths of the palace, its presence was felt in the gentle tug of the tides, in the subtle shifting of moon and stars. The synergy between sea and sky was ancient, older than any mortal fable. Poseidon appreciated that bond, for the storms he summoned always drew power from those swirling clouds above. Yet he never forgot that storms ended, and in their wake, the calm would again preside, guiding weary souls toward rest. He finally stirred from his quiet meditation, turning his attention to Thera once more. In his deep voice, barely louder than a wave's sigh, he spoke. "Return to your home, young nymph. Let the waters cradle you tonight. There is no cause for worry, even if storms gather in the distance. This moment of repose is for us all to cherish." Thera bowed respectfully, her heart warmed by the gentle resonance in his words. As she drifted away, Poseidon remained motionless, embracing the dark waters with an open heart. The hush seemed to deepen, as if night itself had paused to bear witness to the unspoken harmony between the Sea King and his vast dominion. In the silent hours that followed, the ocean's inhabitants drifted into deeper slumber. Manta rays floated gracefully, their wide wings carving gentle arcs through the moonlit currents. Schools of shimmering lanternfish blinked in patterns like underwater lullabies, while hidden hermit crabs tucked themselves away in spiral shells. Overhead, the sky turned from midnight blue to a lighter shade, heralding the approach of dawn far above. Yet here, in the sheltering twilight beneath the waves, time felt slow and forgiving, as if each moment could stretch on forever. Poseidon closed his eyes once more, letting his mind wander through memories of epochs gone by. He recalled forging alliances with other gods, granting safe passage to wandering ships, and yes, sometimes unleashing storms to remind mortals of the sea's power. But amid these recollections, one truth shone brightly. Every tempest had its calm center. Every wave, no matter how tall, would eventually subside. This knowledge filled him with peace. Tonight, he would rest alongside his kingdom, sharing in the quiet that stretched from the darkest trench to the shimmering surface. For now, no thunder roared, no squall raged, only the gentle pulse of a realm at ease, dreaming in Poseidon's silent watch. As the moon began its slow descent, a subtle shift in colour draped the underwater realm, heralding the approach of a new day. Tiny specks of light began to filter downward, illuminating the faint outlines of Poseidon's palace. With the final hours of night gently passing, the tranquility that enveloped his domain lingered like the last notes of a lullaby. No great announcement marked the change. It was simply another soft breath in the rhythm of existence. Poseidon remained on his throne, at one with the stillness that held the hearts of all creatures in gentle harmony. And so it was that the sea, at least for this fleeting interval, enjoyed the rare blessing of unbroken quiet. Somewhere in the distant corners of the ocean, storms would eventually gather their strength. Waves might one day crash fiercely against cliff faces, and winds might howl across the surface. But those were events for future tides. In this precious space between dusk and dawn, Poseidon and his kingdom embraced the calm before the storm, savouring each unhurried second and letting their collective breath align with the heartbeat of the world. The hush endured, a lasting testament to the enduring cycle of rest and renewal. Now, let us gently drift away from this underwater kingdom. Envision yourself rising slowly through the calm depths, carrying with you the ease of Poseidon's serenity. Each soft current guides you upward, floating like a quiet bubble. In this moment, your body feels lighter, your mind unburdened. Breathe in the memory of still waters. Breathe out any lingering restlessness. Feel your heart slow and steady, just like the patient rhythm of the ocean floor. Here, in the gentle aftermath of our tale, imagine your own thoughts settling like grains of sand, forming a soft bed where you can drift into peaceful slumber. The hush remains, cradling you in its tranquil embrace. As you exhale, let your eyelids grow heavier, welcoming the warmth of rest. The echoes of ancient tides fade into a gentle lull, soothing every part of your being. Even the distant sound of waves is nothing more than a comforting heartbeat in the background. You are safe, you are calm, and you are free to drift into the deepest layers of sleep. Let your breathing be slow, your thoughts gentle. Float there, on the threshold of dreams, until the murmurs of the day dissolve. Good night, dear traveller. Sleep well, and let the peaceful tides carry you softly into a realm of warm and endless slumber. May serenity guide you tonight and always. Rest now